Hello, everybody. If it's too poppy on the microphone, I can always just flip this up and filter the sound out for you. Get the joke out of the way, loosen you guys up. All right, so I'm going to be talking about what we did with Mayo Clinic Wellness Rx. First, I'm going to start pretty broad, talking about what Jacksonville as a whole has been doing. So these 6 hospitals in Jacksonville have created community health needs assessments every 3 years. And essentially what these are is an analysis of the health problems around Jacksonville at the health zone level. So just to show you what the health zones look like, this is the level of granularity that is used right now to identify areas of need. Health Zone 1, right there in orange, being the most need. So we decided to take the project and make it a little more granular, kind of taking Mayo's lead here. So just to go into what Mayo's been doing on the census tract level so far, is they've been looking at this area that we've titled College Gardens. Is this census tract right in there in Health Zone 1? And further, Mayo Clinic has been working in Newtown with our Wellness Rx program, working in the Newtown Success Zone, kind of employing the resources they have already there. So the wicked problem for Wellness Rx that they're trying to solve right now, their motto here is community drive and community change. So where do they go next? How do they make that decision? So that's our goal with this project. So we know that Jacksonville has higher rates of diabetes and stroke. We're evened out with the national average with heart disease. But these are pretty high values, especially since Mayo Clinic is interested in these 3 health outcomes: diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. So when you see the national averages in comparison, you see that Jacksonville is higher. We know there's a need. We just can't identify exactly where. We can see Health Zone 1, but where in Health Zone 1 are these areas? So to solve Mayo's wicked problem, we started pretty broadly in the outer layer looking at these community assets. So are there service providers in the community already? An example would be the Newtown Success Zone in the Newtown neighborhood. Then we went to demographic factors. So what's the makeup of the area? Who's living in the population? Environmental factors would be things like access to resources, so grocery stores, parks, clinics, things like that. And then the negative health outcomes themselves. So what are the health outcomes that we're seeing within these communities, and how are these other factors facilitating those negative health outcomes? So we did some work with the data, and we identified 2 overall trends in the data. We labeled this first one long-term health outcomes. So these are things that would be perpetuating over a long period of time. So heart disease, stroke, and poor mental health, as well as poor dental. So that we noted poor dental by no dental visit within the past year. So all of these things are going to be health outcomes that you see build over a long period of time, whereas this second factor, our daily determinant factor, is more of the day-to-day factors that someone has to deal with within a population. So we look at obesity. So are they able to go out and access resources? Are there grocery stores in their area? Are there parks where they can go and get leisure activity? So for methodology, we use the 500 Cities project. I'll go into that a little bit later. Then we want to identify health outcomes that not only interested in Mayo, but interested the Jacksonville community at large. And then we used a mapping that we're going to show a little bit later. It's really cool. So for our data source, we used a few different sources. The 500 Cities project is the biggest one. It is the first of its kind to look at health outcomes at the census tract level, which is really convenient for us. We use Google Developer to do some of the mapping, the property appraiser's office, Zillow to give us some of the titles. Not super interesting information, that's why I had to put it on a super interesting slide. So thank you for paying attention. So for the 500 Cities project, essentially what it gives you is a percentage of a particular negative health outcome within a census tract. So the neon yellow individuals represent the people with a negative health outcome, we'll say stroke, and then they're added into the total population. So it's just a raw percentage of who in the community has a specific health outcome. So we created, we call them composites, but essentially what they are is targeting negative health outcomes. So Mayo interested in stroke, diabetes, and coronary heart disease. But for community health needs assessment, when we looked at those a little further, we did find that they added 3 additional health outcomes, being obesity, mental health, and dental health. So we created 2 separate composite scores, one that's more targeted towards our partner and one that's more targeted to the community at large. So with that, I will now invite Jason up here to talk about the mapping that we use.
All right, so imagine you are a decision maker for Mayo and you are tasked with identifying candidate neighborhoods for a health program such as Wellness Rx. Well, with over 150 different neighborhoods within the city of Jacksonville, going one by one and looking at those neighborhoods as a whole is just not feasible. So in order to address this, we worked together with the Mayo Clinic and have built 2 different dashboards, a comparison dashboard that is used to narrow down and identify several candidate neighborhoods, as well as a composite dashboard that is used to get a snapshot or a general idea of a given neighborhood or census tract. So right off, everything? Okay. Sorry about that. So right off the bat, you can see a shade map there in the top left, and it just right now shows a measures of the composite scores that Mayo is interested in across the city of Jacksonville. And thanks to the data from the 500 Cities project, we are actually able to drill down to the census tract level and identify a few different neighborhoods such as the Moncrief area, College Gardens area, as well as the Long Branch area, and view different characteristics about those neighborhoods. So right off the bat, you're able to see the composite scores in the top right are actually very similar to each other, but the composite breakdowns in the bottom right actually tell a little bit of a different story. Long Branch in particular has a lower prevalence of stroke, while the Moncrief area has a higher prevalence of diabetes compared to the other factors such as heart disease and stroke. So after we get an idea of which neighborhood we want to target, we switch over to the composite dashboard to get a little bit more information about that particular neighborhood. So after the neighborhood is selected, we can see in the indicators at the top right, different characteristics for that particular neighborhood. Additionally, we also have some demographic information as well as a table of community resource centers that the Mayo Clinic is actually able to work with and implement their programs. Now, probably the most notable feature is the Google Street Map view in the bottom left, and that's just there to kind of tie everything together and give a picture, an idea of what this data set is actually representing. Now, while today mostly the demo focused on Mayo's needs, I did want to take the time to mention that everything is available online, and the shade maps can actually be changed to show measures like stroke or diabetes or obesity across the city of Jacksonville. So other organizations can use these exact same dashboards and process to identify different neighborhoods for their own needs. And that's about it for the dashboard. So I'd like to go ahead and turn things back over to Evan to discuss what's next. Thank you.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, when we first saw that, we're all pretty blown away. It's pretty awesome. You can like pick a census tract and then walk around it virtually. Very convenient for us that don't want to leave the AC. So where to next? So as Jason mentioned, the data is available. These dashboards are available to everybody. But go back to Wellness Rx, community drive, and community change. Our goal with this project was to help Mayo Clinic and future people around Jacksonville decide where to go next. So we would like to alter the slogan for our needs a little bit. So finding your community and driving your change. That's our goal, and we believe we accomplished it with this project. So thank you.